woods of Indiana Sand-Dunes National Park in Indiana state of United States of America, and this is the September month, and you see the flowering of goldenrod, botanically identified in the genus Solidago. Solidago has over 90 species in Northern America and about 60 species occur only in Illinois, Chicago, and this one particular Solidago with broad ovate lanceolate leaves. Lower leaves are quite bigger one, larger, forming a kind of rosette at the base. And these are the flowers which have the axillary position, and they have both disc florets as well as the ray florets. Ray florets look like petals, but in fact whatever we perceive as one flower, it is a inflorescence called capitulum. So this is the character of an Solidago. Canadensis, Solidago, altissima, so many species, Solidago, Flaxicolis. I am telling you there is lot of diversity in these golden flowering herbs which are popular under the name goldenrod. This is the season of golden flowering, goldenrod flowering. Everywhere in the prairie vegetation you find many other herbs flowering, and this particular white flowering herb before me is Eupatorium, and species is Altissimum, because leaves are quite broad, leaves are stalkless, and even some kind of auricle like two small leaflets are also seen, and the stems are having a purplish tinge, and the lower leaves are quite well serrated. Even upper leaves, they are showing serrations, so marginal tooth lamina, and these are the maturing leaves, and down below the leaves have withered. So only from the middle stem upwards leaves are green, and even the lowermost leaves are about to wither and shed before the other leaves will do, and this is the inflorescence at the top. Below it is an unbranched stem, but upper summit it has some branching, and in that branching you have the florets, white florets, and this is Eupatorium altissimum, also called as sweating plant, because this was used by the native people to cause sweating after the dengue fever attack, and it is also associated with the relief of the aching body, body pains, so it is also named as bone set. So this is a tall bone set of Indiana state, botanically identified as Eupatorium altissima. And nearby this prairie kind of sand dune type of vegetation in this Indiana Sand-Dune National Park, we are seeing the flowering of euphorbia, and this particular euphorbia species is Euphorbia corolata. It has also been introduced in various gardens of Illinois, Chicago, Michigan, and here in Indiana also. You are able to see this flowering spurge or euphorbia corolata is growing in the wilderness. This particular bush is before me. I find this, it has the trifoliate leaves are green. Very difficult to say pinpoint which particular plant it is. It looked like maybe some kind of anacardiaceae member, but no flowers, no fruits. This is a shrub here, and here I see prominent pine with very small cones. Cones are tapering, and cones are hardly 1 inch, 3 or 4 centimeter long. And this particular pine is also growing in the wilderness. Twigs are having lot of cones in the dune. National Park, and down below there are some more bushes. It's not easy way to really, but to me it appears it is Celastrus malcagni, another species called Celastrus, perhaps Americana or which species, but this is another species. In India we have the Celastrus paniculatus, but this is some other Lana species under, I think, Celastrus. And you see here lot of diversity of poplars also. So the tall tree, multiple branching from the base. Most probably it is cottonwood tree, Populus deltoidea. So many grasses are also growing here, and I will show you the view of this Indiana Sand-Dune National Park, where you see the milkweed, common milkweed, which is the larval host plant for the monarch butterfly. And here you see again the plentiful goldenrod solidago. This is one species, and that is another species. That is unbranched, and leaves are quite larger, and the stem is also purplish. But in this case, stem is not purplish. So this is another species, that is another species. Even Michigan is known for one particular species of solidago, which is called as solidago shorti. And that's a small statured solidago which grows at another park, perhaps Blue Park, some area military associated that park, that has unique species of solidago, solidago shorti. There's a presence of solidago flexicolis, zigzag goldenrod. There are some species which have the pleasant or aromatic leaves, and even the flowers and aromatic leaves are dried and consumed as herbal tea. So solidago has a traditional use for against cough, bronchitis. So it has traditional elegance, traditional reverence, and once upon a time even this particular flower was declared as the state flower of Kentucky, but later I think that was another flower, not solidago. But for some time, even in the Michigan perhaps, there was a solidago festival also, goldenrod festival, till 2018 perhaps or earlier. Now it is not there, but when it was one of the state flowers, so there was a specific event dedicated for the flowering of this solidago over the sand dunes as the Solidago festival or goldenrod festival, and it has many traditional medicinal uses apart from showy decorative nature. So many grasses are there. Calamo-agrastis is one. Calamo-agrastis is a very good soil binder as it has the deep roots, and it stabilizes the shifting sands. So this is Sand-Dune area beside the Lake Michigan. On the other side is Chicago City, and this side is the Indiana state, and a little ahead you can see the Michigan state. But whether it is Indiana, whether it is Michigan or Illinois or even Wisconsin for that matter, all these four states, they are beside the Michigan lake. So on the other coast we find Wisconsin and Illinois, whereas on this side you find Indiana and Michigan. But the vegetation is almost similar. So you have the pines, you have the junipers, you have the oaks. For example, this is the oak, and there are more than 24 oaks, and many of these oaks will turn fabulously red during the autumn season. And there are two groups of these oaks. One is the group of white oaks and another is group of red oaks. So how to distinguish two? So in case of white oaks, usually the leaves are lobed, and each lobe is not drawn into any spine or drawn into acute hair. Rather, it is round. So round lobe. If you see or encounter the round lobe like you are able to see here, so this is a white oak, not the red oak. But in case of red oak, you have very spinous lobes. So that is one feature which distinguishes the two. And this seems to me white oak. This is Quercus alba. There is another swamp oak, that is Quercus bicolor. There is another large sized corn bearing oak which is called as a bur oak, that is Quercus macrocarpa. So in Quercus macrocarpa, the upper lobe is larger. This is the rounded and larger, not deeply lobed like this. So that is the distinguishing, or you can differentiate the two oak species. That is one, this Quercus alba, and other is Quercus macrocarpa. In macrocarpa, this lobe is very large, and moreover acorn scales are almost filling the whole acorn in case of Quercus macrocarpa, but little less in case of Quercus alba, white oak. You also see here bushes of osier, a kind of dogwood here, and from a distance you can appreciate the color of this dogwood. This is osier dogwood, also known as Cornus sericea. Botanically speaking, this is Cornus sericea, purple tinged or little yellowish stems. Leaves are glaucous beneath and green above. They are borne in opposite pairs, as in any dogwood we see. But most important character which differentiate this osier dogwood or Cornus sericea is the presence of white fruits, white berries, pearly white fruits, and still one or two I am able to see on this bush which is before me. So this is osier dogwood. Dogwood is the name for the Cornus species. And why dogwood? Is it having any connection with the dogs? No. It is presumed that its wood was basically used for making handles of many weapons, especially the dagger. So its wood, because of that traditional use for dagger making, got the name as dagger wood. And ultimately, to shorten it from dagger, the word was reduced or modified or shortened to say dagwood. And ultimately that dagwood also became dogwood. So this is one. So there are many dogwoods which flower in the spring season, and they are decorative and they are included in the shrubbery, in the landscaping. It can be most beautiful. Flowers are not that large, but the cluster of flowers have very beautiful, colorful bracts, and that provides it a very decorative outlook. So Cornus florida is one. So this one is in the wilderness, Cornus serratia, but it also finds inclusion in the parks and gardens everywhere, whether it is Wisconsin, whether it is Illinois, whether it is Indiana, or whether it is Michigan. And there again you find another oak. So here also I am able to see the lobes are rounded, and lobing is not deeper, it is superficial kind of lobing. So most probably this is Quercus bicolor, which is called as a swamp oak. This is the sand dune area, and that is the Michigan Lake.